Hey guys, the following is a video I made late last year but never put it out. But now with Spider-Man back in theaters, I think it's a perfect time to finally put out my prediction video for Spider-Man 2 for the PS4. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Not much more to say, and enjoy the video, and here we go! Hey guys, Spider-Man for the PS4 came out last month and is breaking all sorts of sales records. One has to assume that it was a massive hit. But as soon as the credits rolled and all the side missions were completed, all us fans could think about is, when will we be getting a sequel? How could they possibly make it better, and what will they be adding to the next game? In this video, I'm going to give some predictions what I think Insomniac could do to make the sequel even better than the first game. Did you guys just see that too? It's not much more to say than sit back, relax, grab your favorite snack, yum yum yum. Don't forget to sub, don't forget, I'm talking to you. Enjoy the video, and here we go! Let's talk about location first. Where would you like the second game to take place? In a recent interview with one of the lead developers from Insomniac, he said that Spider-Man took a little over than 3 years to make, and a lot of that time was just building a replica of New York City for Spider-Man to swing around it. So unless we want to wait at least 3 more years for a sequel, I think it would be a pretty good idea to have Spider-Man 2 take place in the same map as the first game. Okay, this is going to be a brand new game, so at least we need some major changes to happen if we're going to be using the same map. So without changing the entire map, I was thinking we could have something destroy a lot of the map. Something really bad that Spider-Man just couldn't stop. An earthquake could take out a big part of the Upper East Side. A tsunami could come along and wipe out a lot of the Lower West Side and have it totally underwater. Think about how in Fortnite, they change a lot of the map every season. Just enough to keep things fresh. They never really change anything too dramatically, but with some very smart changes, they make the map feel very fresh and new. It's crazy to even say this, but Insomniac could learn a thing or two from the makers of Fortnite. So if we can't change the map for the sequel, big changes need to happen in other areas. So how can we make such big changes in other areas, you ask? Well, simple, by adding more playable characters. Sorry MJ, but I want other playable characters that do more than just stealth missions. So the obvious second character to be fully playable would have to be Miles Morales. I would make Miles super fast, he'd be able to jump higher and web zip faster than Peter Parker. He would be the quickest and most agile character in the game. But the trade-off is he doesn't really do any of this stuff that well. His webs sometimes miss and he falls, his punches don't have a lot of power behind them. I mean, he's just starting out in the superhero business, so he's a little weaker and not as talented as Spider-Man. Another playable character we need without any doubt is Venom. That's right, Venom will play a huge part of this game. He will be heavily involved in everything from the story to gameplay. He would play very similar to Peter, but he would have more power and just raw strength. He'll be able to jump super high and hit really hard. But his weakness will be his speed, or lack of speed. He'll be super strong, but he'll really just be a slow brute. And the fourth character I would have playable is the Hobgoblin. The developers did a great job saving the goblins for the sequel. Imagine flying all over the map using the glider. Hobgoblin would be super fast and fun to play as. Actually, maybe you could unlock him after beating the game. Yeah, this feels like more of an end of game reward to me. I'm not 100% sure what direction they should take the story and plot of Spider-Man 2 in. Insomniac should just find the best classic Spider-Man story they can and put it into the game. Maybe put their own twists on it, but really finding a classic comic and using that story would be really smart. I like the idea of having the same amount of bad guys as the first game, but maybe spreading the bad guys out a little bit more evenly throughout the entire game. Okay, so my one small gripe with Spider-Man was the use of all their big bad guys. I mean, most of them were really only used in the back third of the game. If it was up to me, I would have really loved to see a few big bads in the beginning, a few in the middle, and then a few at the end. My only really big ask for the sequel is please give us Venom, and give us a lot of Venom. Maybe even an origin story. I don't really care, I just want to see as much Venom as possible. And don't worry about screwing up the character, nothing could be worse than this. Okay, nothing could be worse than this, I guess. I really like the idea of Spidey facing off against Venom in the beginning of the game. Then midway through the game, they have to come together to join forces to fight a common threat. Carnage! Carnage! Excuse me. Another big change I would make for the sequel is the addition of multiplayer. You and a buddy fighting crime would just be so much fun doing it together. But I do see this as more of an online experience. Local split screen just wouldn't work. Let's talk about modes for a second. Okay, this idea is crazy, but maybe so crazy it might just work. Imagine Spider-Man Battle Royale. I know, but this isn't a joke. Imagine you can choose to play as Spider-Man or Spider-Man any of his costumes, or any of the many villains in the game. New York City will be the map, but what will make this Battle Royale so unique is that most of the action will actually take place on top of roofs, on the side of buildings, or just falling through the sky. Powers and weapons could be scattered throughout the city. The health system might need to be tweaked a little bit, but I think it's very possible. I actually do think this would work and be a lot of fun, and it would be something to really separate the sequel from the first game. Please, comment section, be gentle. Finally, when can we expect this game to come out? Since we're only tweaking the map and not starting from scratch, I don't think it's going to take 3 more years to make this game. I mean, game development does take a lot of work and a lot of time, so I would say somewhere in the realm of 2 years of development to really make this game as good as possible is pretty fair. So that would make the release somewhere in early 2020. But another factor that needs to be considered is that Sony might want to keep Spider-Man 2 for a launch title for PlayStation 5. And who knows when that's going to be released. So if I had to make a hard prediction, I would say that we're going to be playing Spider-Man 2 somewhere around summer 2021, the absolute latest. I know that seems like a really long time from now. Good thing the first game has so much replayability while we wait. The first part of Spider-Man's DLC was just released in October. Parts 2 and 3 are coming out over the next few months. I've heard that each part is about 2 to 3 hours long, so I'm going to wait till all 3 parts are released before I dive in. So I'll have about 10 to 12 hours of good Spider-Man fun, a lot of action, and I'll really be able to enjoy it and have a good time with it. What I really want to know is, what changes do you want to see in the sequel? What improvements would you like to see made? And when do you think the sequel could possibly be released? Let me know right down here in the comment section. I'll be sure to get back to you. We can start some dialogue about this. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I live stream a few times a week. I make prediction videos, top 5 lists, discussion videos, all that stuff. So if you're interested, hit that sub button, hit that like bell, so as soon as I go live, you get my content right away. Again, guys, my name's Turbo Jesse, and I'll see you on the flip side.